Hey guys, so in today's video, we're doing a full set from start to finish. I'm also going to go into detail on my acrylic application and how to achieve the perfect shape. I always start by gently pushing back my client's cuticles so I can go in with my sanding bit and remove the shine off the nail plate with my e-file on the lowest speed. Doing this, you need to be very light-handed because we are not trying to take down too much of the natural nail. Then I go in for a more thorough cleanup of the cuticle area with this needle bit. You want to use this on the lowest speed of your drill as well. And I just do this because sometimes you might miss things with your sanding band. And this step helps to eliminate any lifting so your sets will last longer. Once I'm done doing that, I just go in with my cuticle cutter and cut off any dead skin or any hangnails that I can see. Now I'm gonna start gluing tips, and the glue I'm currently using is this IBD 5-second nail glue, and I'll have it linked in my description for anybody that wants to try it. As for tips, if you watched my last video, you know that I use Shopalacia tips. These are the clear low C-curve square tips, and you guys can use my code for some money off if you shop. And I'll put all that info in my description box as well. She also has tips available specifically for short sets if y'all are trying to save your long tips for your long sets only, but I don't mind cutting mine down. As for tip sizing, you want to make sure the tip is fitting from sidewall to sidewall, and a little bit of glue goes a long way. I just put down a dot and hold it down for 5 seconds until it's fully dry. Next, I just ask my client how long or short she wants her nails, and I start cutting and show her before I keep going. You want to make sure you're using a straight edge nail clipper like this one for cutting your tips. To get them all even, I just ask my client to relax her hands so I can put her fingers side by side, and I line them up at the nail beds to be sure that they're the same length. When it comes to cutting the thumbs, I really just eyeball it and try to make sure it doesn't look too long beside the other fingers, and I just want to make sure that the other thumb is the same. I personally like to go back in and just cut the sidewalls so that they are flush with the natural nail sidewalls, because this cuts down my time when I am shaping. I feel like little things like that really help me cut down my prep time. But now onto filing. You want to make sure you season your files before you use them on your clients so that you do not cut the skin on the tip of their fingers. And I like to use 100, 180 grit files when I'm filing the plastic tip of the nail. For short nails, I simply go in with the sidewalls and then hold my file, horizontally, and just go up and down to get that straight edge. after that, I just go back in with my sanding band and blend the tips. Don't gotta do much here because these tips are super easy to blend, as you can see. I forgot to mention, you want to keep your drill on the lowest speed for this as well, and for me, I don't go over 5,000 RPMs. Now it's time for prep, and I'm currently using the Valentino dehydrator and primer. Now onto application. On a short set, to save time, I would usually do a 1 bead method, but for the sake of this video, I'm gonna do 2 beads just to show you guys how to keep the cuticle area looking very flush. Now, I find that my first bead is always my worst bead, but it only gets better as I go on. Now, all you want to do once you place your first bead down is just to guide it and balance it towards the tip and get a super flat surface, and try to clean up the edges as you go so you don't have any acrylic falling onto the skin. This method does leave excess acrylic at the tip, and I just clip it off by patting it with the body of my brush, and it usually just falls off. By this point, your acrylic is going to start firming up, and you really just want to start patting it and forming that square shape. Before I move on to my second bead, I also like to just remove any excess acrylic that builds up underneath the nail tip with the pointy side of my cuticle pusher while it's relatively still soft, just so I don't have to worry about it too much when I get to my e-filing stage. The second bead, which is the cuticle bead, should be relatively small. I would say about half the size of your first bead, and I just like to pat it at first and let it melt into the cuticles, and then once I see it spread, I start wiping to blend it with the rest of the acrylic and just clean up the edges and the sidewalls. Something else that will cut down your application time is making sure your client's finger is basically facing down, like hanging down, and that will just let gravity help you, because it will just be pulling down the acrylic and it will kind of just fall down the nail, and you will spend a lot less time trying to clean up the acrylic. Now I'm gonna just let you guys watch me finish this super satisfying application. So now that that's done, I just wanted to say that that clip was real time and it was about 10 minutes long. Not long at all, but still a very clean application. Now back to hand filing, which my method is very similar to what I did when I was shaping the plastic tips. I do the sidewalls first and then horizontally file the very edge, and I like to go over the top of the nail like this only when I feel like the nail is a bit too bulky, but I tend to save that for my longer sets. I also like to go under the nail a little bit just to get off any excess acrylic. I don't really know how to describe that motion, but you can see what I'm doing. It just gives your square that extra crispiness and takes off, any remaining plastic or, unnecessary acrylic. So I just do that to the rest of the nails and then move on to my e-file. Now, the drill bit I'm using, I'll have that linked in my description box, but for short nails, I like to file from side to side first because I feel like I can control the hand better when the nails are short. So I go side to side and then I go across the top, the cuticle area, just to seal that up, and then I go up and down as you saw and go over the cuticle area one more time and just make sure everything looks super flush, and then I go under the bottom real quick just to make sure there's nothing under there. I have this clip back to real time, and if your application was smooth and flat and you don't have too many lumps and bumps, your e-filing process is going to be really quick. You just need to make sure you're sealing the cuticle area really quick, and everything else should be basically done. You do not have to go side to side, that's just what I like to do. But if you do choose to go side to side, you need to make sure you have a super firm grip on your client's finger, because it's very easy to slip off the nail bed when you're going side to side. So make sure you have full control over your e-file and a solid hold on your client's hand. After I'm done with the e-file, I do go back in one last time with my hand file just to clean up anything that I may have missed the first time. also like to turn my client's hand upside down to just double check that everything is straight across and super even. After that, I spray the nails with alcohol, and I go in with a super soft bristle brush just to brush off any acrylic stuck to her fingers and just get rid of all the dust. So the design she wanted was just a simple glitter tip. This is my first time using this product, but I think this glitter is so pretty. I believe it's a chunky flash gel glitter, those glitters that have a cool reflection when you take a picture with flash. But since it is chunky, I did have a harder time trying to achieve a clean smile line, but you guys are going to see how I draw my French and how we made it work. These liner brushes that I use, I'll have them linked in my description box, but for the most part, I was still able to do my French the normal way I do it. I just found myself just pushing chunks of glitter into the empty spaces that I couldn't cover with just doing brush strokes, if that makes any sense. But overall, I really love this glitter and I can't wait to use it again. But I'm just gonna let you guys watch me draw the French on the rest of these nails. that's done, I just cured them for 60 seconds and went in with my top coat. Currently, I'm using a not polished glossy top coat. It gets the job done, but I'm honestly always switching up the top coat that I use. Always be sure to double check that every nail is fully covered and that there are no fluffs or anything in your top coat before you cure them. But this set is complete. I just go in with some cuticle oil, and I was given this cuticle oil by Shop Laisha, and I believe it's her Pineapple Dream cuticle oil, so you can find that on her site. And I just rub it into the skin, and that is the finished set. Thank you for getting to this point in my video, and I hope that you learned something, or at least you enjoyed watching me work. See you in the next one.